How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. In this video, we're taking a look at my Rasenmon Fury Mode deck list. Now, I know you guys have been asking for it. I haven't been able to put that many gameplay videos up on the channel because I'm really focusing on my other decks, because I'm going to all the Digimon regionals this month. I'll be at the Ohio event this week. So if you guys see me there, definitely come say hi. But yeah, this is the Rasenmon build that I have. I think it's pretty solid. It's pretty cool. And I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Alright, so for the babies, we play 4 Upamons and 1 BBmon. The Upamon is really good, you know. You definitely want to be a 3 or less, because then Rasenmon will be cheap. Card draw is good. BBmon is pretty cute. I definitely do like the 5th babies. And there's some cool combos you can do with BBmon, so I do like it. I would even consider playing potentially 2 BBmon just to have an extra of it. For the rookies, we are a little bit all over the place. I do play 3 Rasenmon. First, because he's cute and we have the alt art. But all jokes aside, you know, you are going to Digiburst, and being able to cycle rookies is good. However, if you wanted to make room for other rookies, you wanted to cut a Rasenmon down to 2 or even 1 off, definitely feel free to do that. I play 2 of the Patamons that give you a memory when you DP reduce. We obviously have a ton of DP reduction, as this is a Rasenmon deck. The Inheritable comes up all the time, and we can recycle this with our Jogress, so it is good. But as you'll see, I just have a little bit of everything. I play 2 of the Pulsemons that give you 2 memory if you have 3 memory. If you have 3 security, you get 2 memory when attacking. This one is good because it's a huge chunk of memory, and you can recycle this. For example, as you'll see later on, you can have a Pulsemon be a 3 security, go into like an 8mon. 8mon can swing, giving you 2 memory, which will then give you enough for you to like play the bird, Jogress into Chimeramon. Chimeramon's a new Digimon, he can swing and then regain the Inheritable. Or this guy's in the trash, you Jogress into Chimeramon, put this at the bottom of it, you can swing and get the effect. So I like having the variety of the Inheritable, so you can take the right one you need for the situation, and they could both be pretty powerful. We play 2 Pulsemon just because sometimes early on we need the card draw. If we're just like looking for things, being able to draw Pulsemon and get card draw is good. But again, super replaceable if you want to play more of the other Inheritables, like by all means. I play 2 Starmons because our deck has a bunch of DP reduction, and while sometimes it's good enough, sometimes you need the Starmon to like close it out. Definitely is nice. And then I play 2 Bushiagumons. We don't actually have any synergy that can like bring out Bushiagumon for free. That said though, I felt like I had to room in the rookies. We play things like Blinding Ray, and as you saw, we have ways to get extra memory. So sometimes it's nice to just be able to drop Bushi and swing, even if it is expensive. But again, can definitely mess with the ratio of rookies and play whichever ones you like. Now for the champions, I do play 2 Rapidmons because, I mean, we're yellow, right? We have yellow rookies, we can take advantage of Rapidmon. He's insanely busted, as I'm sure you guys know. Good for Jogress, right? Because you could swing, armor, he's gonna survive. He can clear the board, DP reduction. Rapidmon's just crazy, right? Feels like it would be wrong to not play Rapidmon basically, so we are playing it as a 2 off. I have 2 Judge Pitamons. Kind of like in the rookies, my champions are all over the place. We just have a little bit of everything. Everything has its purpose. The 1 consideration is nice. The main reason we play Pitamon. Blocker doesn't come up too often these days, but you know, he's a blocker if you need that. I play 2 8mon. My reasoning here is same as it was back in BT7. Early in the game, your Rasenmon costs 5 to go into, which you don't want to do. So it's nice to just have an 8mon and then be able to just swing at security, be aggressive. When you're playing aggro and you're going to Jogress, you can oftentimes swing with 8mon first, knowing that he will likely survive as an AK, and then use him to Jogress after. So 8mon is super nice. Also in security, like 8K is nice. I play 1 Dinohumon, really because I don't have room for more. But if you wanted to fit in more of these, definitely do that. Inheritable is good. The fact that he's yellow and red is good as well. And we play 1 Casamon because I'd like to be able to close the game out with the hybrids. It's just too strong to not have access to that. So the Casamon is there as a 1-off. And then for the last champion, we play 4 of the Achillemons. So this is the main way that we are going to Jogress. You know, you have a yellow. You can drop the bird for 3, which will allow for easy Jogress. And then he has a really good Inheritable. Deleting Digimons that are 5k or less is good. And it's even better when you take into account the fact that we have DP reduction to help you get to the 5k. Now for the 5s, we have 4 Sylphimon, Sylphimon is really good. I've always been a big fan of the card. I feel like it really puts in a lot of work. We can Jogress, pop something, swing over something, has the inheritable with the bird on there. Like, you can clear a wide amount of boards with Sylphimon. It's also a nice way for us to like cheat out a level 5 so we can then go into Rasenmon and do some work. Like if you go Sylphimon, minus 5k, and then you have the bird on there, right? You can then go into Rasen, DP reduction, do some more DP reduction, and then swing, use both the inheritals to potentially clear the board. Sylphimon definitely puts in work. I'm a big fan. Our other Jogress is Chimeramon. Currently it is as a 2-off, but if you want to do 3 Sylphy, 3 Chimeramon, that would also work. Chimeramon is just very good. I mean, we are a Jogress deck. It just makes sense that we play it. There's a ton of synergy with it. Because we have Rapidmon, who's going to give us green, we can potentially get to the 4 colors and be at 12k, which sometimes comes up. Main thing about Chimeramon, like I said, is that we can reuse the strong inheritables that we do have access to. And then I play Rise Greymon as a regular level 5. I've always been a big fan of Rise Greymon. I think he's a sick Digimon. He's a dual color Digimon, so he works with, you know, things like Cody. You can also play Cody for free, which is also good. He's more Digiburst synergy, so you can get your Rasenmon back, for example. And the inheritable is, again, still relevant, more DP reduction. Now, for our Megas, we do play 4 Rasenmons, because this is a Rasenmon deck. So Rasenmon is, you know, he's solid. By now, like, if you play Rasenmon, you know what he does. He's good. The main thing to know is that you can only target 1 stack when you're doing his effect. But because you can get a lot of sources now due to Chimeramon and the Fury mode, you can ideally go into a Rasenmon, hopefully for relatively cheap, DP reduce something, swing over it, use your inheritables like the Sylphimon and the bird to clear, so you can maintain sources, and hopefully Rasen can do work multiple times. But the main reason that, you know, Rasenmon is good these days is because we have access to the Fury mode. So if you guys are going to play this deck, I recommend that you pick up the pre-release versions. They just look so nice. I feel like they should be super cheap. Fury mode is a really good card, and it does a lot for Rasenmon. So the first thing is that when the game starts, you have 5 security. Going into Rasen costs 5, which is bad. But going into Fury mode always costs 3, which is good, because you can just, you know, be at 3 and go into a 6. He's base 13k, which is solid, always good. You want to go into Rasen and then swing. At the end of the attack, he lets you Digivolve into a regular Rasen for free, which is nice. And then the inheritable, when you Digiburst him, you can restand one of your Digimon. It gets plus 3000 DP. So basically, you could sort of cheat out the Rasenmon. You could just sit on the 13k. You have to trash your own security if you do that, but sometimes that could be okay. Although most of the time you want to go into Rasen to immediately go into, I mean, Fury mode to go into the Rasen, right? It gives you a double swing, it gives you good DP reduction, it gives you good DP boost, and it's a way to go into the Rasen early without spending the 5 memory. So it just combos really well. I find that 4 and 2 is a good ratio for me, because if you have a lot of Fury modes and you don't have the Rasen, it's kind of awkward. So I'd rather always have the Rasen and sometimes have the Fury. I do play 1 more level 6, and it's 1 Kasuchimon. Our deck does not have a ton of healing, and we definitely want to get low in security. But the burst heal comes in handy for sure. I definitely appreciate being at like 0 or 1 and then healing all the way up to 3. Plus being at 3 security is really good for us, so Kasuchi puts in work. For options, we have 1 yellow memory boost, because I mean, we're yellow based deck, and I think the memory boosts are really important in this format, as you don't want to build up front. You want to just get your pieces and ensure that you have the memory you need when you're going to execute your plays. Talking about memory, we have 2 Blinding Ray. Blinding Ray is really good in this deck, because, you know, getting the memory is good, and trashing your security is okay because it'll let us proc the BBmon, the Pulsemon, Rasenmon will be cheaper, it'll let us go into Bushi for game, just do things that the opponent doesn't expect. I feel like people are not really playing Blinding Ray these days in the yellow decks, and maybe rightfully so. It's still a fantastic card in the Rasenmon deck. Then we play 3 Crimson Blaze. This card is crazy good, it's just insane. And it's even better in our deck because we have DP reduction. So, you know, base, it kills anything that's 6k, which is fine. But if your opponent has multiple things or Digimon that are bigger DP, you could, like, say something is, you know, 9000, you can DP reduce it and then Crimson Blaze it, right? And we can DP reduce multiple things at once. So you could set up really good work clears with Crimson Blaze. It is always insane in security. You're happy to see it. And even though we're a yellow deck, we can play Crimson Blaze because we have a good amount of red Digimon. And as you'll see, I actually have a red tamer as well, so it's fairly easy to be able to play Crimson Blaze, and it's just a very strong card. So for our tamers, we have 2 Codys. Cody's absurd, absolutely insane. Kind of like Rapidmon, it would just kind of feel wrong if we weren't playing him. And hey, he synergizes with things like Rapidmon. Having extra memory is just good in general. You know, we have dual color Digimon in Sylphimon, Rice Greymon, and Rapidmon, and Chimeramon, right? So we can definitely get value of the effect, which is DP reduction, which naturally goes well with the rest of the deck. Cody's crazy, give me play from Rice Greymon for free. And then for my regular tamer, we actually play Hero. So Hero is, I think, a fantastic tamer, and he does a lot for us. So he's a red tamer, giving us access to Crimson Blaze all the time. His effect to give us extra DP is good because, again, combined with DP reduction, we can essentially swing over almost anything. You can go Fury mode, tap Hero, and now we're 15,000, which is literally just swinging over everything, right? And sometimes you want to be aggressive with your level 5s because that can play aggressive. Like I was saying, you can go like 8 months swing, 8k survives, Jogress into Chimeramon, swing, tap Hero, now we're 10k, we don't die to the other 8ks. Or you can like Chimeramon DP reduce something, tap Hero, will be 10k and they'll be -3 or -4, which essentially lets you clear almost everything. And Rasenmon is base 11, which is not fantastic, but with the Hero he goes to 13, which feels a lot safer. So I definitely like Hero as a memory tamer in this deck. Yeah, so that's the list, definitely do try it out. It might be a while, but I'll definitely try and get more matches of Rasenmon in the channel. So look forward to that. I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching.